It was just really weird.
Well, to describe the night you experience in Mortuary Assistant as weird is a bit of an understatement. If you've been following this game, you'll know it's been in development for over a year by a team of one. Brian Clark worked for several years in the AAA space, and lately has taken to solo development so that he can work reasonable hours. Good on you, Brian. Anyway, he's released a couple projects so far, including Our Secret Below and The Subject. And now his latest project is catching some people's attention. Mortuary Assistant has you assisting in a morgue. You're working under the head honcho at the mortuary, Raymond Denver, and he's called you in to do some emergency embalming because he's got an ache in his tum-tum.
I'm just not feeling too well.
The only rub with this morgue is that the devil himself is entering our realm through it. Mr. Denver seems to know that this might happen, but he figured sending you there by yourself on a stormy night was a fine plan. So the game starts off pretty standard. You begin in your apartment, on the phone. Honestly, this portion kind of blends in with thousands of other horror games you could find on Steam. But things start to ramp up once you enter the titular morgue. The fact that it's a morgue is already kind of unsettling. No one likes a dead body. Or, I guess I should say, most people don't. But over the course of this short demo, you have the modest task of embalming one body, hampered only by the fact that you, the player, have probably never done that before. Oh, and also Satan himself trying to intervene and possess your very flesh. But the more you dawdle in this game, the more time there is to spook you. Ghouls will peek around corners, bang on doors, turn off switches, and rush toward you before disappearing. They really like to do that. Now, I like to think I'm pretty calm and collected with horror games, but there were definitely a couple moments where my mouse nearly flew right off my desk. This game will spook most people, I'd wager. And we've got more than jump scares here. There's also some subtler stuff, like this beckoning hand in the darkness. The mechanics of the game are very akin to the typical Steam horror game. It largely consists of walking around, picking things up, and interacting with objects, sometimes combining items. And it seems like this will be true of the finished game, as the main objective seems to be collecting sigils and arranging them to determine demonic names and banish these spirits from the morgue. Personally, I'd just burn the place down. There are a number of things that seem to play no role in the demo that are just there for later use. These fuses come to mind, and the controls include a flashlight function, but I never found one myself. But while the actual mechanics may not be much to write home about, this game definitely has some things going for it. As I already touched on, it's very unsettling. It has its jump scares, but it's not overly reliant on them. The subtler scares are arguably more effective. It also makes great use of the small building that actually comprises the mortuary. Whether it's as simple as turning off lights or something more elaborate like extending a hallway into infinity or transporting you to another realm entirely, the game keeps it fresh. Hopefully that trend continues with the full release. Mortuary Assistant also teases a potentially interesting backstory for our heroine. Jury's still out on that one. But what I was particularly intrigued by was the spirit at the end. The dialogue this spirit gives was pretty well written and delivered, and even the spirit's design had me very interested to see more. I did run into a couple issues while playing the demo, which I'm hoping will be ironed out. The big one was that I actually got stuck on my first attempt. I guess I took a little too long to get Mr. Close-Off put away, and the lights for both the back room and the hallway leading to it were shut off. I didn't know where the switches were, and there doesn't seem to be any brightness settings, so there was basically nothing I could do to get the next body where it needed to be. I had to wander around for quite a while before the demon decided to throw me a bone and turn the lights back on. My other gripe was that the main character seemed largely pretty blasé about this whole situation at times. All this spooky supernatural shit would happen and she would go on delivering her lines like it was 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Okay, yeah, I got that one. Need the... What? Oh god! Did I leave my oven on? No, I turned it off, thank god. Miss Parker, would you get back on the table, please? Otherwise, performances are pretty competent overall. Not too much else to say at this point. It is a demo, after all. It's looking very promising. I'm especially eager to see more of this alternate realm we see here. It's really striking visually. Hopefully we get more creative stuff like this. Can't wait to see what Mr. Clark cooks up for us in the spring. Till then, I guess I'll just wait around in this spooky morgue. Hold on a sec. I think I hear some self-promotion outside. Did someone say self-promotion? I've got just the thing. Take a saucy jaunt over to my Patreon page and enjoy all the finest luxuries that money can buy. Some of Hollywood's biggest stars are subscribed to my world-famous Patreon. Stars like Leonardo DiCaprio, Leonardo da Vinci, Leonidas, and Leonardo the Ninja Turtle. Be like Leo. Join my Patreon today. It'll change your life. Very slightly.